Hello students, in the last class we have seen what are the various data types, the fundamental types of data that can be stored in C programming. And in this class let us look at what are the different integral data types that we can store. What are the different types of integral values that we can store in C programming, and what is C offering to us for this particular thing. You are being offered a boolean. You can store boolean values, you can store character values, you can store integer values. Integers are basically numbers only. A complete integral value is an integer. So for example, 1 2 3, 1 crore, 10 lakhs, these are all integers only. Character means your A, B, C, any character on this keyboard that you're talking of, all your special characters, including your digits. They are all, they can be entered or they can be stored as a character also. Boolean means you can store either a 0 or a 1. And the different data types which are offered, the keywords which are given by C programming in order to declare a variable of this particular data type, let us look at them. If you want to store a 0 or a 1, you use the keyword bool, B-O-O-L, bool, space, you give the variable name. Okay, then that variable name is of type boolean. You can store only a 0 or a 1. Other than that, if you try to assign any other value to a boolean variable, it will not accept, the compiler will not accept. Next is the character type. In character, typically you have your char, char is the data type that is offered, or wchar underscore t. The main difference between these two is that char typically deals with the ANSI C family or those set of characters, and are these days Unicode and all those types of characters will be dealing with wchar underscore. But most of the time we'll be using char, char only for our purposes here. So let us try to get acquainted with the char keyword. So until now I gave you two keywords. One keyword is bool and the other keyword is char. Bool is for storing value 0 or 1, and char is for storing any particular single character. And then you have the integral values. In integral values you have four types of integers that you can store. One is short int, long int, and long int. So difference, there is only one difference, it's the size. So what amount of data or what is the number that it can store, typically that is the only difference between these four data types here. Okay, so if small numbers are enough, then it is short int, the range of values that you want to accommodate, you will use short int. Or int is for a little bigger set of values, long int is a little more, and long int is, so the values or the ranges of these particular data types, that is the short int, long int, and long int, is typically the minimum value that can be stored is minus 32,768, and the maximum value is 32,767. So please do not remember the byte sizes that have been specified here as the actual size allotted for short int, long int, and long int in any kind of system. Typically, the memory which is assigned for the data type depends completely on the underlying architecture of the machine. So do not think that we are just trying to give a sample. Typically, most of the times, this will be the typical sizes of the memory allocated for these data types, but they will definitely differ with the underlying architecture. So anybody, if you want to find out what is the memory allocated for a particular data type, you have an operator called as size of operator. SIZEOF, size of is an operator. If you remember in the list of keywords that was there, we gave this size of word also. Whenever you say size of short int or size of int, whatever memory is allocated for that particular data type by the operating system on that machine's architecture, it is returned for you, it is displayed for you. Okay, you will be very easily be able to understand what memory is assigned to it. So in the next class, let us see what are the various keywords given for storing the floating values. Thank you.